So I'm just going to say it right off the bat. I do not think I will do justice to really understanding the fullness of the image of the Sacred Heart. But I do my best, and these were never meant to be the full analysis, just my personal reflection as a growing Catholic. So let me just talk about first the things that stand out in the gospel reading. It says this: one of the soldiers with a spear opened his side, and immediately there came out blood and water. And that immediately speaks to me in that it reminds me of, O blood and water, which gush forth from the heart of Jesus as a fount of mercy for us. I trust in you. And that's a big thing about the Sacred Heart. When you gaze upon the image, we see obviously the imagery of the Passion. And it begs the question, do we trust in Jesus? Do we trust in what Jesus says? In preparation for this feast day, which we're celebrating the external feast day on Sunday, the actual feast day was on the 16th on Friday. But in preparation for the feast day, I did do the 9-day novena to the Sacred Heart of Jesus to entrust some very big intentions. And whether or not they are answered is not my purpose in doing that. It was in the exercise of trust and letting go of my own control over these things. And I think that's the big thing with the Sacred Heart. If you see the image of Jesus, he points to his heart, and it's an invitation to trust, to love. And so it's up to us to take that step. The other thing that stands out in this image of the Sacred Heart to me is the fire, right? The image of fire, speaks of the truth of the burnt sacrifice, right? That was fulfilled through Jesus' ultimate sacrifice. He's the Lamb of God. That burnt sacrifice is what that fire. But it also speaks of the burning love for humankind. The heart of Jesus is physical. He physically became human for our sake, to be among us. And I think that's the other part of the Sacred Heart that I need to meditate on, which is the physical heart. And it's always intriguing how we have these miracles of the Eucharist where it's always, when it's analyzed, it's analyzed to be flesh from the heart, a heart in distress. I think that's the other side of it, is that it's a heart in distress. And Christ invites us into that. And there is a reminder of our need for suffering. Suffering is good for us. And I think we do a lot to try to avoid it. But ultimately, suffering is for our sanctification, and is good for us. So, yeah, those are kind of my main reflections there. Ultimately, what does it speak to me? I think is the next question. And I think it is that, what I said, that invitation to greater trust in God. I think that there's a lot of things in my life that I've learned to trust in myself more than God. And I think God is in this process of breaking that. And I think the novena definitely helped. To be quite transparent, I was just laid off from work. And I think that was one of the things that I was holding on to as, hey, I'm doing this. I'm supporting my family. This is me. And Christ is breaking me of that and making me let go. I actually have a lot of peace about it. And I think it's because of the novena, that exercise of letting go and giving to God, trusting in God. And as I was reflecting on it, when I first got this job, it was very providential. The timing, everything nothing that I did really to make it happen. It just kind of fell into place as I just continued to trust in God in multiple times. The promotions that I got through it, the full time, because I started off as a part-time seasonal employee, but besides the point, that's gone now, and I can't depend on that. And I can't take credit for that. I mean, I really ultimately shouldn't have in the first place. The key thing is that I'm learning to trust God in this, in that knowing that He provided before with the job and continued to provide through it, that I ultimately have nothing to worry about. He will provide, and everything's going to be okay. So, gaze upon the Sacred Heart. What is it that you are holding on to that Christ is asking you to let go, to invite you to rest in His heart and allow His love, His gifts to ultimately bring you satisfaction, bring you peace, whatever it is that you need. And I'll end it there. Thank you for listening, and thank you for watching. This is actually not done live. I didn't stream today. I'm traveling for Father's Day weekend. I wish all fathers a blessed Father's Day. Bless you for choosing to fulfill what God has called you to do as father. I know that it is such a blessing and a gift, as I do have my son. And yeah, I pray for all of you to grow as men, to be more like Saint Joseph, to lead your families. That being said, if you do want to watch these lives, which I typically do, I do stream typically on Twitch on Saturdays. Link right there, and also in the description below. If you have any of your own thoughts on your reflections on this reading, on the Sacred Heart, love to hear from you. Just go ahead and drop those in the comments below. And a reminder, not a final reminder, a reminder, the OE Cast, which is my podcast, we are doing a book study on theology of the body. Sign-ups are through the end of June, and that is in the description below. Without further ado, if you enjoyed this, make sure to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you can be notified when these go out. They come out every Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern. So I've shifted that over. If you want to catch it live, it's on Saturday. I stream 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Eastern typically. And then Sunday gets uploaded at 9 a.m. So if you want to catch those, then they'll be Sunday morning, which is probably when this was uploaded. That note, God bless and peace.